Hey everyone, it's Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy, and I am so sorry. I haven't been around for a minute. I did get COVID, so I have been just basically knocked out for 2 weeks. It wasn't bad. I'm just tired all the time. So, um, this project is for my collab with Karolina from Karolina's Krafts for Scrappy Christmas Crafts with a K. And I am so sorry, but I don't have the energy to do the tutorial. I have been trying and I'm still recovering. And so I just don't have the energy. So I just thought, let me do the walkthrough with you guys. I don't know why I chose to do such a big project. Knowing I don't have the energy, I haven't done any videos in a couple weeks. So excuse my voice, and I apologize if I do cough in between. It's gonna be so disgusting, and I'm so sorry in advance. But I will do a tutorial, I promise. I just don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but I'll try to give you guys some measurements if you want to get things started. You can do that, but I did pull out. So if you are new to my channel, Karolina and I are doing Christmas projects once a month, at least once a month, for Scrappy Christmas Crafts, and where we're just going into our stash and pulling out just some of our Christmas stuff because we have so much. And then also it will help when Christmas time comes to actually have some projects already done. So this one, I got out this collection, PhotoPlay Kringle by Tracy Smith, and I'm trying to see, usually there's date on there, but I think it was a couple years ago. Don't quote me on that. I think it was like 2020 or maybe 2019. But I have just a little bit of scraps left, and there's more that I could have still kept going with this video. I mean, with this album, but I had to stop. It just can go on forever. So this album is 6.5 by 7.5 with a 1.5 inch spine. So you're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard that are 6.5 by 7.5, and then a piece of chipboard that is 1.5 by 7.5 for the spine. And I did Tamra's Layflat method, putting the book together, and I will link that in the description box below, but you could put it together however you want to. So you can do the old school way, Tamra's way from Country Craft Creations, totally up to you. Excuse me. So here on the cover, of course, I had to feature the gnome, and I just kind of pieced together some of the pieces here. Had to use the ho 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 because I have a problem, and I just think that's so funny. I don't know why, but I do. And then I used silver foil cardstock, which is more like a brush silver from Michael's. And if you want the mirrored silver, definitely go to Country Craft Creations, because there's you could see yourself in it. It is definitely mirrored cardstock. But I chose the Michael's brushed silver. I think it's just silver foiled cardstock. And then I used a Martha Stewart punch. I did layer this up a couple times just to make it sturdy. And then I have just I'm pretty sure it's a Prima crystal on there. And then this is it's not a Martha Stewart punch, but it's another little mini punch that I had. And then here is the spine. And then the back side. This was not my favorite paper, but it's what I had towards the end. So that is on the back. And then I do have a ribbon tie closure in a buffalo check. And it opens up like this. And, excuse me, I do have a flip out here. So this does open up, but you have a pocket right here with a photo mat that you can fit a 4x6 photo on here. But then I also added a waterfall to the top of the pocket, and I have a tag on the inside which this tag is 2.5. And I use my Stampin' Up! Tab punch, so if you have that, not tab punch, what is it? Tag punch? I don't know. But it does this top for you. So I actually cut my paper to 2.5 by 7, and then I just fit this into the punch and cut it. And then when I did my matting piece, I just took 1/8 of an inch off on all sides. And then I have the white on the back just so you can journal. Also would make a cute little bookmark. And then that just tucks in there. And the waterfall element, let me just tell you the size of this here. So this is 7.5 by 8 7/8. And then I scored at 1/2 inch. And then I scored at 6 7/8. And this is the piece here that I folded over to the back. So that was the first part, and then I just adhered that down to the cover, which, you know, we'll go through this on the tutorial, but for those that, you know, are used to doing minis and want to do it or get started, that's how I did that. And for the pocket, I did put a gusseted pocket on here, and it is 3 3/4 by 8.5, and then I scored at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. And then for the waterfall that I stuck on there, and I just glued the waterfall on 3 sides so I could still have a pocket. So this waterfall mechanism is from Michelle Allen from My Creative Operations, and I will link her tutorial. She gives different measurements for you, so you always have them. Excuse me. And I took one piece that was 3 1/4 by 11, scored it at 4 1/4, 4 3/4, 5 1/4, 5 3/4, 6 1/4, 6 3/4, and then I took another piece that was 3 1/4 by 10. All you have to do when you're doing, you know, these is just take off 1 inch. So 3 1/4 by 10. Then I scored at 4 1/4, 4 3/4, 5 1/4, and 5 3/4. So again, 4 1/4, 4 3/4. 5 1/4, 5 3/4. And then I did, the next piece was 3 1/4 by 9, and I did it at 4 1/4 and 4 3/4. So then you just glue your, you know, pieces down on the gussets. So again, if this is a little bit trickier for you and you haven't done this before, I will link Michelle Allen's video so you know what I'm speaking to. So once you get it scored, you would know how to do it. And then for the closure, the piece that I have is 1 1/2 by 4, and then I scored 1/2 inch so I can attach it to the waterfall. And then I have the magnet here and the magnet on the inside. You can do tie closures. I just didn't want one here plus one here. So, and I never cover up. If I have a cut apart like this, I don't cover it up. I don't know why. I don't like covering up. So most of the time I'll do a tie closure, or you can do the magnet on the inside. I've even tucked my flap underneath the cut apart. So totally up to you. And I could already tell, like with my voice and stuff, I'm not going to be able to give all measurements throughout this, but I will try to give the big things. And then this opens up here, and again, I could have added something in here. I just was too tired. I couldn't keep going, but it's lots of room in here. So lots of things you do. So I just glued this down on the 2 sides here after I matted this. So this part is just the back of this actual page. So this is one long page. When you score it, you flip it over, create a pocket here. Then you add a pocket on top of this one here. So you can just stick anything there. This is from the sticker sheet. And I can see that I put that on crooked, but you have a 4x6 photo mat, and it is open. I just took, you know, some baby powder and took the sticky stuff off. Right here, it's only glued right there. So then that closes up. And you come to this side, and I just kind of have a tiered stacked page unit here. So the base pages, all three of the base pages are, you could do it two ways. So I'm going to give you the way I did this one, which is 7 by 12, score it at 6, and just fold it over, and that's your basic pocket page. And then I added, I took a 1-inch strip by a little bit less than 6 and scored it at a 1/2 inch to create a gusset to close up the bottom of the pocket. But you don't have to do that. You can just glue it. So that's one option. When I do the tutorial, and I might try it both ways, we'll see. Because I know this is going to be a long tutorial, so you could already hear me getting winded just trying to talk. But I think it'll be easier to have a piece that is 7.5 by 12, still score at 6 inches, but cut off. So if you had 12 inches, excuse me, and you scored it at 6, you're gonna cut off 1/2 of the gusset and just take it away, and then, would that work? Yes. And then when you score a 1/2 inch on the 7.5, you'll have a little hinge, and you could close up your pocket that way. But again, you could do it two different ways. I will, show it in the tutorial. But I do have, oops, just dropped my ruler. Have a tight closure here, and it just opens up like so. So this piece is 5.5 by 5.5, and I scored a 1/2 inch and then glued it on top of this piece, which this piece is 6 by 6, and then I scored it at a 1/2 inch and then glued it onto the base page. So it just opens up like so. Have a little photo mat or journaling, and then you can still stick a photo on there. I have so many videos I have to do. I'm so far behind. So you guys might, this week just get some Tiffany spam, because I will probably be throwing a lot of videos at you guys. And then there is this side here. These are just photo mats. And I created a belly band, added a 3x4 card, and either, because I'm going to tell you this brain fog thing is, okay, one, it's either brain fog from the COVID, or it could just be my equilibrium just being crazy. But what is holding me back from doing stuff is just like, literally, the best way to describe it is like a foggy brain. It just feels like things are going on in there, and it's not good. So I could see that I have some things a little crooked. I probably shouldn't have created anything while I'm trying to get better, but yeah, well, who knows? I probably would have been crooked even if I was 100%. But I did take a 3x4, I layered it up, and then I just glued down the center and stuck it to the top of the belly band. Here's another 3x4 cut apart with a little flip out, and excuse me, this flip out, well, the belly band, let me just tell you, is 1 1/4 strip by 8, and then I scored it at a 1/2 inch on each side so I could glue it down to the base page. And then this one, excuse me, is 4.5 by 7, and I scored it again at a 1/2 inch just so I could glue it down, and then it created a little flap, and I do have a magnetic closure on this piece here, which is a 3x4 cut apart. I did mat it with just a little scrap before I glued it down, and then there is a little pocket here. I don't know what I did with, I did have a cut apart in there. I don't know what I did with it, but I just created a pocket by gluing this cut apart down on 3 sides. So there is room. It's not working very well, but just so you guys can see, it is a little pocket. Okay. And then, and on all these pockets, which I don't have any mats in here, but there, it is a top loading pocket, so you can put photo mats, larger photo mats in there that would fit 5x7s. And then we have this next spread, this nice little layout here. Again, this was not my favorite paper, but I had to use it because I was running out. So I just try to kind of coordinate it with the 4x6 cut apart over here, but just created a gatefold page, which the gatefold is just 2 pieces that are 3.5 by 7, scored a 1/2 inch. That gives you your gatefold. And then for the pockets, the triangle pockets, these are 2 3.5 by 3.5 squares, and then you score it a 1/2 inch on an L, so one side and down and then across. And I just did a tick mark for me to cut mine at 1/2 inch, but you can do it exactly, excuse me, at 3 once you fold your, I can't even talk, your sides in. Is it 3? I don't know. Hold on, let me see. Pretty sure. Yeah, it would be, yeah, 3.5 by 3.5. I was just making sure I did the square right. But you could just put these 2 corners in your cutter and cut it even if that's easier for you to mat. I just did it. I liked having kind of the squared off look. And then it opens up like this, and I think I left these open, maybe not. Nope, I glued them down. So these are a border strip from the sticker sheet. Just put that on there. And I did use some red cardstock from my stash throughout this. And then it closes up with the photo mats. And this photo mat is 5.5 by 5. And then it just goes in the pocket there. And then just because I needed to add, or wanted to add something else, so I have another little cut apart that I just tucked in there too. And then for this next page, this is a 4 by 6.5 flap. And I scored on the 6.5 side, I scored at a 1/2 inch. And again, so it flips out. I do have a magnet in here as a magnet closure. I put a little pull on there with the ribbon. And this is good for the little scraps after you do your bigger ties and you have like pieces from the tail left over. So that's what I use right there. And then this flap is, what is it? Let's see. Can't even see. 6 by 6.5, and then I scored a 1/2 inch, I believe, on the 6.5 side. Yeah, because it comes out to be a 6 by 6 square once it's glued down to the base. So it opens this way, closed, and it opens up like so. And I don't have anything in the pocket, but just so you can see, you have lots of room. This is a gusseted pocket. And it is 4.5 by 7, and then you just score it 3 sides and glue it down. But you could do a little booklet in here, flip it over. You could add more stickers up in here. Like I said, there was still more I could have did, but I was pushing it doing this. I even though I've been home sick, I haven't been home to actually craft. I've been home, but I haven't been able to craft while I've been sick. So it hasn't been, great. I literally have just slept like the weeks away. Other than I did work from home because I can't help it. There was stuff I, had to do. So when I did get up, I would end up working, and then I would get so tired, I would be knocked out the next day. So, but it's all good. I'm fine. It was not that big of a deal other than being sleepy, which I don't like because I'm not a sleeper, so. And then on this page, I do have this open as well. This is from the sticker sheet. I mounted it on black cardstock. And then I just did kind of a little accordion, like flip out. And I could see I'm a little crooked on my spine as well. Way to go, Tiffany. Just crooked all over the place. And then I just have a tie closure here. Just kind of made like a simple accordion to add some of those Christmas photos. So lots of rooms for photos in this album. You can leave the back open and have another tag. And I did have, you know, some stickers for tuck spots. And then it opens this way here. And I'm just going to tell you, so what this is 2 pieces of paper glued together. Just simple. I have one piece that is 6 1/4, because this whole mechanism is 6 1/4. So 6 1/4 by 8 1/2. So right here, 8 1/2. And then this next piece, which I glued this to this piece that is from this side. That is 6 1/4 by 11, and I scored at 4 1/4, then 8 1/2, and that gave a little 2-inch extra piece here. So what I did when I glued it together is I just glued the very bottom, then I put my mat in, and then I glued up the 2 sides. So there's no magnets in here. It just, you know, has a little accordion. You can add another hinge to this side if you want to use this full back, like this full sheet. You can do that too. It's just a really simple way to get in a lot more pictures. And, you know, happy ho-ho to you, because I have problems. And I do have a tight closure, which I really hate, like covering up my cut aparts with tie closures, but I figured, you know, this was just simple. So if you tie it better, it looks fine. So imagine it like that. But there you guys go. I'm really sorry. I don't know if I actually showed this, but I do apologize that I do not have the tutorial ready, and I apologize that I haven't been able to respond to, I have so many people to respond back to in comments. I'm not ignoring anyone. I'll get to you. And if there's something like really important that you need, like to finish a project and you have a question, feel free to ask the question again to bump you to the top. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I promise a tutorial is coming. I need just a little more energy to bust out a big tutorial like this, because this, and I'm going to tell you guys, so when I started with another project, and I was like, no, that's going to be too big. I don't have, you know, the energy to do it. So let me go to a smaller project. Yeah, that didn't work out so well. So, you know, you'll see that other big project sometime too. But I promise I will have the tutorial for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think. And I will link Karolina's project. It's so cute. She used My Mind's Eye paper, which is one of our faves. And it's a really cute project. So I will link that below. And just remember, if you do any of the tutorials and you post them, not everybody posts, so I understand that, but if you do post them, we love to see them. So please use the hashtag Scrappy Christmas Crafts with a K, and I will have that linked below as well. It's been just a lot of fun seeing what everyone's been creating. And again, no, you don't have to do anything. Let me be clear. I've had some questions. Do we have to do this? You don't have to do anything. We're just asking if you're going to post a remake of, you know, the tutorials that we're giving you guys just for free, just so everyone can have fun and create things, to just post it. And it doesn't have to be Christmas. You can use these for whatever project you want. All our bases that we use them on something else when we do the tutorials, because we create our project first, get it to how we like it, and then we do the tutorial. So we always have a second base to use. It just works for us that way. So yeah, use it for whatever you want. This is a great, I really was trying to be simple and fast, and I just kept adding stuff. Darn it, Tiffany. But there you guys go. So sorry again about my voice and just, you know, not being able to have this ready to go when we like to have it done, which is the 25th. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and hopefully this week I'll have some more videos for you. So stay tuned, and thank you guys so much for being patient, and thanks for all your support. And if you did like this video, please give your girl a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure that you do so that way you can see future projects. Thanks for watching. Bye.